Hello, chefs. Good morning. We are back again. I'm Isaiah, the young Jedi chef, here with the Dragon Warrior chef, German Lamb, and we will be your host for today's podcast. You are listening to a unique podcast where we will discuss tough yet real topics that need to be heard in the industry. In this podcast, you will hear the truth, real, raw, and unfiltered. Today, we have the honor of having Dr. Gary Elper with us to discuss how to keep your body, mind, and spirit fit. I'm excited to get started and jump right in. So without further ado, I'll let the star of our show, our guest, Dr. Elper, introduce himself.
Hey, Isaiah, hey, it's fantastic to be here in German. You're looking good, German. You're looking good. Well, I'm Dr. Gary Epler here in Boston, and I've had a fantastic life of just doing so many fantastic things. I went to medical school and learned how to be a doctor, and that was a huge thrill because my whole life has been anything I can do to help people, to help people live a better life, to improve their lives. That's sort of been my sort of mission as long as I can remember. And that medical school was great. It gave me everything I needed. And so I went on and here in Boston and worked at the Brigham and Women's Hospital and taught Harvard medical students medicine, pulmonary medicine, critical care medicine. That's my specialty. And several years ago, I discovered a lung disease, and so I saw patients from all over the world for that disease, and it was very very satisfying to see the patients would come in with their families, and I would get to talk to them, and they always felt better when they left, and that was a great experience for me. And 5 years ago, I put myself out of business because I taught everybody how to treat this disease. It was a lung disease and how to diagnose it. They didn't need me anymore, so no more patients. And then I said, well, I want to continue to figure out a way to improve millions of people's lives. And I did. And that's what I've been doing for 5 years. And it starts with knowing who you are.
Mhm.
And that's amazing thing. We've always been told that for thousands of years, know who you are. But nobody's ever been the answer. How do you do that? And someone asked me that. I was giving a seminar, and somebody raised their hand and said, how do you do that? And I said, I don't know, but I'll put some research in and I'll find out. And I did. That's exactly what I started doing 5 years ago. And I have the answer. And
Mhm.
that's what we get to talk about today, because that's the basis of fit. I mean, that is the basis. Start there, and everything else is going to go fantastic. And so there we are. We're going to talk about being your true self, and then the foundation for fitness, three things: eat, sleep, and exercise. And
That's
that's going to be where we're going.
That's right. No, I love your introduction, and I think it's very admirable what you've done and what you do for people and your purpose that you have as a doctor to heal people and to expand their life to the maximum potential through your work is incredible. And I think as hospitality professionals and as you as a doctor, we have a lot of things in common. You know, healing people as chefs for us through food and through the food that we create for people and for you through your work and your research and your development. So our careers really go hand in hand, and food is life and food is health. And same thing, your health is everything. You know, your health is wealth. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of hear your perspective on what we're going to talk about today. So one of the key things to maintaining and living and being in a healthy lifestyle is having a motivation or a purpose behind it. You know, you have to think of why do you want to live this healthy lifestyle? Why do you desire this type of life? So the first question, kind of to dive into it, is what's your purpose personally for living and maintaining and keeping a healthy lifestyle? And how is that essential to the success in your life?
Okay, well, it's number one. That's for sure. It
Yeah,
is it's the ingredient for success.
it
And
is.
it is be your true self.
Mm,
And I said, well, how do we do that? And the answer's not been available. Well, the answer is very simple.
mm,
Use your human brain.
mm,
That's it. Use the human brain.
mm,
And so, well, what kind of an answer is that? Everybody uses their brain. Well, they do, but they use the wrong brain. We're born with what I call a primitive brain. It starts us off in life, and it does a good job. We cry for some food and we cry for a diaper change. It works. It works. But unfortunately, our civilization continues to use that primitive brain. And what is our current civilization doing? Well, they're crying for food and crying for anything. I want this, I want that. It's all about me. Well, that's that's not being a human being.
mm,
And it turns out that to use the human brain takes 25 years to develop. It doesn't, you're not born with it. And not during your childhood years and throwing temper tantrums. That's not the human brain. Teenage years of doing crazy things that we all do. Well, you do those crazy things because you don't have the human brain yet. I mean, it's just the way it is.
mm,
But you hit 25 and there it is. It's there. It's there. And it's fantastic.
mm,
And and the issue is that you unfortunately now you have to be taught how to use that. 10 years, 10,000 years from now, you should be able to just kind of go into that without having to think about it. But now you actually have to think, well, how do you do that? How do you use that human brain?
mm,
And it's based on brain waves.
mm,
And we know about brain waves. The fast ones, you're awake. The slow ones, sound asleep.
mm,
And they have names and they have little numbers. And beta brain waves. Well, they're fast and they have numbers. And then we have alpha brain waves. Well, that's dream sleep,
mm,
and you're asleep.
mm,
But let's go back to that beta 14. Let's call it beta 14. That's the frequency that runs that primitive brain.
mm,
That's the one we're born with.
mm,
And it's exactly the issue. Is it runs the primitive brain. And when you're in beta 14, here's what comes out when you're thinking from that beta 14 brain. Complaining, criticizing, judging, blame. It's me. It's it's me, and jealousy, guilt, worry, and then trying to control people, having power over people. All of that. That's all primitive brain things, because you're defending yourself.
mm,
And that's what the primitive brain does. It's protect your life. It'll save your life because there's no thinking. It's instinctive. And so people go through their life using that primitive brain with those kind of behavior. And and the key with all those behaviors, they cause stress
mm,
and anger. That's not cool. That's what those behaviors do. And the reason they do is because that's sort of a little natural signal to tell you don't use this brain. This is not going to serve you well as an adult. A 7-year-old that throws a temper tantrum to get a toy, that's stress. That causes stress. Stress in the parents, stress in the peep shopping, stress in everybody. That's just pure stress. Well, that's a little signal. Don't behave this way. All right? But nobody listens. Nobody catches on.
mm,
Teenage years. And they do things, you do things as a teenager. Oh, this is just pure stress, and you get angry and all this. Well, that's because you're not supposed to do that behavior. At
mm.
any rate, That's what we call beta 14 behavior. And that's what I said, to be yourself. That's not you. None of that is you. I mean, come on. You're not somebody who throws temper tantrums and gets mad at people. And that's not you at all. Human beings have two characteristics. They're kind.
Mm,
They're kind to themselves, number one, and they're kind to everybody else, and they help each other.
mm,
That's humans.
mm,
And anything other than that behavior is not being a human and not using the human brain. So that's why you keep coming back to, how do you be yourself? Use the human brain. And that
wow.
human brain require it. Now, so there we got that primitive brain, beta 14. What about that human brain? It takes 25 years and it does not run on beta 14. It runs a little slower. Like like meditation. That's alpha 10. That's it, alpha 10. Meditation's cool. It's great. It feels good. You're happy, and and it's healthy. It decreases the life of the telomeres, which decrease. I mean, that increases your life. Increase those telomere life, and and that's all good. But I'm not going to sit for 45 minutes. I I can't sit for 5 seconds. So the magic number, we got beta 14, we got alpha 10, and alpha 12. There it is. That's the number.
Mm,
Phenomenal. That's meditation on steroids, meditation on jet fuel. It and that's what you need to use the human brain.
mm, yeah.
And to be human, it's real easy.
Mm,
We have that. That's our thing. I mean, that's what we've been given. Alpha 12, it's there all the time. The
mhm,
problem is people let that beta 14 take over their lives.
mm.
And so there you got it. That's the answer. Be your true
Wow.
self.
Yeah.
Just don't think about yourself, because anytime you think about yourself, that's beta 14, that's anger and stress. So just don't. But hey, that's a little hard thing to do. We've been thinking about ourselves our whole life, right?
No,
But anyhow, that's what I've been doing for 5 years, is trying to figure out how I can develop a product, or how I can help, or how, whatever, any way I can to get fake people to stop thinking about themselves. I guess
love
that.
it. Yeah. I love it.
So there we have it. Be your true self.
I love it. And I gotta say, I'm super intrigued by everything that you just said. I just in that conversation, I learned so much. And I think one of the key points I got out of it is, like you said, turning off that beta 14
Mm.
automatic brain,
That's it.
always being in defense, always,
Always
finding,
defense. That's the
yeah,
word.
always finding an
Always
excuse.
defending.
Yeah,
Always defending.
yeah,
Yeah.
trying to find an excuse for something, trying to, get a way out of it instead of just being, like you said, just being yourself and being
That's
truly, and showing, like you said, showing love, showing, compassion.
it.
That's all.
Kindness and help each
Kindness.
other. That's
Exactly.
that's what you do. And
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
and and and, and the thing about being your true self,
Hmm.
a lot of people are actually afraid to do that.
Mm.
They're
Yeah.
afraid to be them true selves because they think, oh, they're going to criticize me. They're going to make fun of me
Mm.
because I'm acting this way or I act that way. But that's good. That's fine. At least you're your true self, and you take the consequences. You be your true self and take the consequences. And the consequences 99% of the time are going to be good. Come on, they're going to be good. Every once in a while, yep. You're going to get criticized, and people are going to make fun of you and blame you, and they'll destroy you through beta 14. Right? I mean, that's because that's most people are in beta 14. They'll absolutely destroy you. Oh, if you're your true self, you get over that in less than 10 seconds.
Mm.
If you're in beta 14, somebody criticizes you or somebody insults you, or whatever this word is now, offends you. Oh, it's the end of the world. You go on and you think about it and you all those awful people. It goes on for hours and days.
Creates more
One little
stress.
simple thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're an Alpha 12, that's me. I don't care.
It's just be you.
No, Alpha 12 gives you the feeling
Mm.
of nothing bothers me.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that's a fantastic feeling. I mean, because they're just words. They're words. And that's beta 14 behavior.
Mhm.
Is the beta 14 treats words like a tiger, like a monster. Like, come on, that's physically going to kill you. Well,
No,
that's his job, and it does a really good job. It'll save our lives right now because it's instant.
that's
The
right.
thinking takes too long, but but it doesn't need to treat words that way.
Mhm.
You know,
That's
they're
true.
just words.
Yeah, words don't
And,
kill you.
and there it is.
Yeah, no, I love that point. I want to hear your perspective, Chef Lam. What's your perspective on that? What's your take?
Well, you know what? This is a master class from, Gary. And think about a doctor, right? You have to go through data and research. And I listen, and the beauty as a chef, you know, now you use your intuition. And to do that, it's how do you train, develop, and learn where, Gary says 25 years. I have another word for it. I call it puberty. You can't speed it up. You can't rewind it. You can't pause it. The feeling is good, bad, and ugly, So, in cooking, that's why I love the word freestyle, become water. And the greatest, icon is Bruce Lee, you know, he took the body, mind, spirit, and he brought it to a level. And I look at it, I go, but we love him watching him in the movies. But why don't we activate that DNA in us? Because we have that. Everyone has that, you know. And one way I call it, love. Love is like if you love your body, mind, spirit, and food 24/7, you're going to add ingredients that it's going to make you feel like, you know, and that takes maturity, right? That takes maturity of authentic of who you are. So in one way, as a chef, do you copy the trends and what's out there, or do you go, you know what, I got a beautiful story, I got a beautiful message, like what Gary says, his mission is, hey, I want to help the world. I mean, the world has 8 billion people. Think about that, right? And all you need is one. That's
Mm,
it, you know, and planting seeds, it's so powerful because
mm,
once you do that, that individual, wherever they travel, wherever they are, whoever they communicate, whoever they connect with, is spreading already. That is the power of planting seeds. And
mm,
if you look at Mother Nature, wow, it's so powerful.
mm,
Life starts and life will continue to start. It
mm.
doesn't die, you know. But everything that Gary said, I go, those words, I have no idea what they are, but I
Mm.
created my own words. I call it the yin and yang. Very simple, right? And you're talking about, you know, light and darkness, emotion, kindness versus hate.
Mm.
And that is the beauty of humans. How do you suddenly not look like a person that in the world right now we go, really? You're an adult, you have education, and you're acting like that, and you're leading like that. So, as a chef, it's very simple. It's like our eyes are AI. It's gonna tell us what are you gonna do with onions, carrot, and celery, and maybe some protein and maybe some grain, right? And what are you going to make out of that? Because you only have half an hour, so you better come up with technique, methods, and preparation to bring that food to life.
Mhm.
So that's my outlook of what Gary shared with
So,
us.
so German, what you said is just fantastic. You said love. We have love. We have love. It's kindness. It's being kind. It's being kind to yourself. You have to start there. You don't want to beat yourself up. You know, we all screw up, make mistakes. And again, beta 14, you go on and on and on. You, oh, I'm a horrible person. Oh, this, that, and everything. You for hours. But alpha 12, no, you don't do any of that. You're kind to yourself from your heart. The kindness comes from their heart. Love comes from your heart. Appreciation, gratitude. And you said that we have to activate that. Well, the good news is you don't. You don't have to activate it at all. It's there. You need to stop beta 14 thinking. That's all it is. You have to suppress that primitive brain thinking. You have to quiet it. You have to put it in the background. You have to just uh, stop thinking about yourself. Stop thinking about your problems. Stop thinking about, oh, how bad the future is going to be. Stop thinking about, oh, all the things I have to do. Just right now. Just right now. Just don't think about any of that.
Exactly.
And the kindness is there, the love is there, and the appreciation and all of those things. Not only that, but the productivity is off the charts. I call it impact productivity and impact performance, not peak performance. Impact performance means you impact the world around you with what you do in a positive way. You contribute to society in a positive way. Impact performance from Alpha 12, because this is you. And the creative innovation is you come up with ideas that nobody has ever come up with.
Mm,
Preparing a meal, putting that ingredient in that and that and that. Those are not off the shelf things. Those are not the little tag in front of you that says make a hamburger. Those are you, and everybody has their own. It's
mm,
that's Alpha 12. That's being your true self. It's there. Everybody has it. Don't think about yourself. Don't think from that primitive brain. You have to quiet it. And how do you do that? Well, we can talk about that because maybe you can give an answer. Here's how I did it.
mm,
I read that study 5 years ago. The instant I read that study, I stopped. I
mm,
stopped thinking about myself. And the study was they take 100 people, put them in an fMRI. fMRI is a functional MRI machine that tells you where you're thinking from. We've never had that before.
mm,
Socrates and those guys didn't have that. We have that. And it says, oh, this is where you're thinking from. And they said, okay, don't think about yourself. That's all you got to do. Real easy instruction. They go in there, 15 seconds. Oh, that water heater broken. Oh, where am I going to get the money to fix that? Come on, 10 seconds. Thinking about a problem. The red light goes off. And I got to stop that. And then I give him another 10 seconds. Oh, I got to get back at that coworker. The red light starts blasting. Any rate, 21 days, they kept that red light off for 45 minutes.
mm,
And let's check in on those 100 people, 3 months, 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, anytime.
mm.
They are 2 times more productive,
Wow.
3 times more innovative, and they're healthier, better blood pressure, better weight, better everything about them, and they're better citizens
Mm,
and better friends, all because they don't think about themselves.
mm,
That was amazing. I read that study. Whoa. And I've been looking for ways to improve millions of people's lives. For that's what I set out to do. And I said, oh, this is amazing.
mm,
This is no psychiatrist, no pills. Pills are the worst thing ever. These awful pills that people are taking to make them feel better. Those they cause beta 14 behavior and suicide. I mean, they're horrible pills, these things, because they're not natural. They're not you. And and I said, this is free. And it's free and it's easy. Don't think about yourself. And so that was really very exciting for me, and that's what I said about love and kindness. We all have it. It's all there. It's all there 24 hours a day. It's alpha 12. Right?
Mhm.
It's alpha 12. The problem is said beta 14 just takes over your life, and it loves to take over your life because literally it's regions, it's brains. And that's what this functional MRI studies showed us. We
Yeah.
don't have a brain up there. We got a whole bunch of them. One of them is called the anger center, which is amygdala. Everybody knows that nowadays. The
Mhm.
amygdala, that's its own brain, and it loved to take over your life, and it does. It unfortunately, and it's there, and it thrives on junk food. It requires no sleep because this is instinctive. Remember that. It's not thinking. And that's bad way to think. And the stress center is this big, huge thing behind it. And that's when you think about yourself. That causes stress.
Mhm.
And so uh, those things literally want to take over your life, and they do. And they're a lot more powerful than this frontal human brain. The human brain is it's weak in that department. It's very powerful in everything else, but it's weak when it comes to trying to defend itself.
Mhm.
And so that amygdala and that stress center just love to take over people's lives, and that's what you're dealing with. Everybody's got their kindness and their love.
Exactly.
But they gotta quiet that thing down and just shut it down.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I just, as you were talking, I've been on the edge of my seat the whole time. Like, just it's intriguing listening to everything that you're saying and the passion that you have behind it. And it's crazy that we're having this conversation because just yesterday I was talking about the same thing, how I feel that everybody is born good. Everybody's born a good
Oh,
person.
to the
Everybody,
max.
exactly. But it's the environment that shapes you. It's not being shown the love that shapes you, not being shown even when you do hit 25, how to use the human brain.
That's
That's
it.
the thing.
How to
How to
use it.
use it.
That's
You
right.
have
Yeah.
it, but how do you use it?
How
And
do
I
you
think
use it?
people don't believe it's possible because they don't know how to use it.
That's
But
right.
if
That's
they,
right.
if they had the opportunity to learn how to use it, the world, we wouldn't have any problems in the world.
Isaiah,
Yeah,
you just said
yeah.
it. Couldn't
No,
have said it better myself.
no, that's the truth, and I appreciate you for even giving us all this knowledge, and because I feel like people in the world they need to hear this, they need to hear that it is possible. You
Oh, it's possible. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
fantastic.
it is. Chef Lam, what do you think?
To me, it's, Gary sharing his story, his vision, and think about your physician. You learn, and now do you follow and copy, or do you transform into your viewpoint, And as a chef, same thing, So in a lot of ways, we both wear white jackets, We
Mhm.
both deal with people. We both train and develop people, Gary, his approach is making sure that they live a very fruitful life, My approach is that, do you have empathy with the ingredients? Do you have empathy with your coworkers, And that's something that I go, you know what? My parents taught me that. So you always need a mentor because the mentor shows you the guiding light.
Mhm.
And when you're shown that, now it's up to you. Start using your mind, start using your heart, start using your eyes. And now what are the ears going to listen to? Like I always say, garbage in, garbage out. That's the kitchen. Garbage in, garbage out.
Mhm.
Why? Because you don't want to overload that mind of yours. So this is something that um, I learned. I learned from what Gary just shared and everyone around the world. Then I break it down. Go, all right, I'll take that little piece of information because each ingredient creates a puzzle of life.
Mhm. Yeah, no,
Well, the chef, my chef story, Alpha 12, I call it an Alpha 12 chef. This whole concept I have, I sort of call it an Alpha 12 life, this idea of living with this huge amount of energy and this impact performance and innovation. and enduring joy. I mean, there's joy in Alpha 12 life. It's not it's not the day-to-day thing and being happy. It's just pure joy doing whatever you're doing. And 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 as a chef, uh, an Alpha 12 chef loves what they're doing. They can do it all day, all night. Time, there's no time. Time is not even in the equation. There's no distractions. Uh, and 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 they do it because as German said, they love the combination of ingredients, just this feeling of putting this and that, and what it what it comes out of, the feeling that you get when you do that. It's just a great feeling. And another thing about it, it is really important, is it's also you don't want to hurt people. You want to create food that's going to be healthy. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to cause inflammation. And that's huge. And the third thing is that you're not thinking about, oh, I get to show off that I've done this, or oh, I get a big reward because I do this kind of cooking, or I get in the newspapers, or or I get to walk around the restaurant and say, oh, look what I've done. That's all just beta 14 egocentric, meaningless, meaningless. But you're there. So you have the ingredients. You have that feeling of that. You have the ingredients. And the final thing is you're doing this for other people,
Mm.
to, for them to be healthy, for them to give energy, for them to enjoy the evening with their friends and family, to enjoy an experience with the food, the surroundings of the restaurant, the other people in the restaurant, and the texture of the food, the taste of the food, all of those things. That's why you do that food, not for yourself to get some award.
Yeah.
That's Alpha 12 chef.
Exactly. No, I agree 1,000%. I think that's the problem that we have in the industry is that a lot of the chefs they do it for recognition of
Oh,
themselves. Mess up my food, I'm gonna do this. I'm a
yeah, yeah,
curse at you, yell at you. You're a whore. Saying all these things to the people that
yeah.
work for you, but really the reason why we do this is for love, to share our love, to share our passion with other people, and to bring. Yeah,
The other thing about
yeah,
those chefs
yeah.
is you don't want to work for somebody like
No,
that.
you don't.
You
You
don't want to be even associated with somebody like
don't
that,
even close.
even
No.
in the vicinity of that. Being around people that are beta 14 is uncomfortable. It's not enjoyable. But a beta 12 chef, oh, it's just fantastic. Everybody just loves to it's because everybody's all together.
Exactly. No, that's what the point is. And I think, like you said, getting out of your ego, getting out of
Mm.
I always have to be on top. I always have to, like you said, getting out of that
Oh,
they only
beta
think about
14.
producing is exactly. And all that stress, all that pressure, it causes
Oh,
disease in
that's what
your
it
body.
does. It
It
causes
causes disease.
and a shortened life.
Yeah.
And not a very enjoyable life. It's
No.
always fighting.
Always trying to
Your
fight,
whole life,
fight,
always fighting, defending. Oh,
fight.
it's miserable life. I love my life. I love my Alpha 12 life.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
I wish like more people knew how to use that huge
That-
thing
That's the
like
thing.
you do. Yeah.
Everybody knows how. It's just that
Yeah.
beta 14 takes over.
They choose exactly. They choose not
That's the problem.
yeah. They choose not to. Yeah. So but like is there I know you started you've been doing this work for a while, but is there a point in your life where you were like, this is what I know I'm supposed to be doing? Like this is what was that critical point where you're like, this is what I'm
Oh.
on?
Well, that story, that's the story that when that student asked me,
Mhm.
I was giving a seminar about 10 10 health habits, 10
Okay.
good health habits, eat, sleep,
Mm,
and so forth. And
mm,
my number 10 was be your true self. And he said, well, how do you do that? And
mm,
I said, well, I don't know how to tell you, but I'll work on that. And I came up with Alpha 12.
mm,
But I said, here's how it happened to me.
mm,
I was chief of medicine at a hospital here in Boston.
mm,
And I was in my 30s, chief of medicine. That is the most amazing thing a doctor can do.
mm,
Chief of medicine. I mean, I, 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 that was just fantastic. And my friend Bob said, hey, you got to get out of there. I said, what? You're nuts. You're crazy. This is fantastic. I said, nope, it's holding you back.
mm,
And I really didn't know what he was talking about. I said, well, that's fine, but hey, I'm chief of medicine. I was chief of medicine walking around the halls of the hospital, and we'd go out socially. Oh, I'm chief of medicine. That's not me. I'm not chief of medicine. And 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 fortunately, they threw me out. The downside or some whatever it was, they threw me out. It was the best thing that ever happened
mm,
because I had two choices. I could go get another title, another job, and make some money,
mm,
or I go out on my own. And 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 I I I obviously chose to go out on my own, but I was afraid to do that because I didn't think I knew anything. It was strange to say, but that's the way I felt. I don't know enough to go on my own because your professors know everything, and books and internet and everybody knows everything, but you don't know anything. That's not you.
mm.
That's the way I was thinking for whatever reason. But I said, well, that's the way it is. And I took the risk. And of course, it was the best thing I ever did. And that's what I found out who I was. And from then on, then I just, that was me. That's me. And I'm going to take the consequences. And of course, the first consequences are you don't make any money. You don't have any money. I mean, that's Alpha 12 doesn't make money. That for sure. You live in a beta 14 world. You got to have money. and, and so that's a huge problem. You don't make any money. And you can go through your savings, you go through this, and but you just stay with it, and it's going to work out. And so that's what I did.
I love it. I love it. I could honestly listen to your stories all day long, and I'm super intrigued by everything that you're saying. I wish we had time to
There
talk
you
about.
go.
I know. But yeah, no, I appreciate everything that you've given us today, and like I said, I've gotten so much out of this conversation, and I know that the people watching as well are gonna get a lot out of this, and I think that you just inspire people, and just your energy, what you bring to the world, to everybody you speak to is something. It's powerful and it's impactful. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Well,
Um,
Isaiah, this has been fantastic.
and,
Love talking to you and German. Good
yeah,
to
I
talk
know.
with you, German.
We got the icons on the screen.
We got them. We got the Alpha 12 chefs.
That's right. That's what we need, the Alpha 12s. Definitely. Chef Lamb, any last minute remarks? Any things to close it up?
The beauty of when you're a youth, you could conquer the world. That's your mindset. And
Mm,
what Gary said, you have a title, but then you realize those titles could be removed from you. And when that happens, it really turns you into, all right, what's your life journey now? You know? So for me, I know what I'm doing is very unique, not too many. Why? Because you have to have empathy with individual and say, you know what? I know you can make that food. When you serve it to your family, they're gonna fall in love with you. And
mm,
that's what, to me, that's my meaning of wearing the white jacket.
mm.
When you go shopping, bring it home, clean it, Your family's on the table, around the table, and now you serve this meal, and they all look at you, and everyone's quiet. But the best part, all the plates, it's clean, like they were
Empty.
brand new.
Empty.
That is the goal of
Mm-hmm.
cooking.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, because it doesn't need to say anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
So thank you, Gary, for sharing your insights. But yeah, because right now I know we could continue, we could have a master class in this. And all these episodes would never end because
Right.
that is the beauty of what we're talking about. It's infinity. There is no closure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. A
Yeah,
1000%. Yeah. Thank you. Like
very
I said, yeah, thank you so much, Chef Lam. Gary, finish it. If you want to give last piece of advice, last little insight into what you want to tell the world, to kind of wrap it up.
Oh, just live that Alpha 12 life. It's fantastic.
Right.
Filled with that high energy and that impact performance. And of course the innovative ideas that come out of that are unbelievable to improve people's lives, to improve the world. I mean, it create a human civilization, and this is just fantastic. And the last thing is, it's all with enduring joy.
Exactly. That's right. And I think, like you said, have that imagination, have that like childlike imagination. Like you said, when you're a child, you dream big, you have all these goals, all these aspirations, but it seems like when you get older, they kind of go away. They don't, you have the beta 14 takes over.
That beta 14 takes
Right.
over.
It takes over.
Yay! It's not
That's
going to
right.
happen.
That's right. And we can't have that. So thank you so much for really being a part of this and really like sharing your story and getting deep and getting real with it. Because I think that's what people need to hear. And I know that the call today won't only impact us, but will impact those listening and those that are connected to them as well. So thank you so much for being on this call today. Definitely means a lot.
All right. Great. All
Definitely.
right, Isaiah. Very good.
Definitely. Till the next time.